It's time for grassroots racers and fans to gather around. Welcome to the Racing Roundup Show, your destination for news and interviews within the Wisconsin racing scene, the upper Midwest, and from the world of motorsports. Thank you for joining us for our 38th season, America's longest running weekly motorsports program held in front of a live audience. Tell your friends they still have time to join the racing crowd for tonight's show. And now, here is the host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Hey gang, how are you? Thanks for joining the racing crowd tonight at Paulies Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield. We're live this Tuesday evening, April 19th, with another action-packed show. We cover the upper Midwest, Wisconsin racing scene. We got it all dialed in for you with a special treat for you tonight. Derek Crane brought not only his helmet, but he brought his race car. Looking forward to talking to Derek about his ambitious schedule in 2022. Racing some non-wing stuff here and everywhere. We'll talk to Derek about that as he races with the Wisconsin Wingless and some 410 boys that we maybe read about, but he gets to race against throughout the summer. Looking forward to that. We also are joined by Brendan Ostrowski. He's got a busy schedule as well, racing his dirt modified at up to 3 area racetracks. Looking forward to talking to Brendan. Last time he was on the show, he was sitting here about this tall, and he's now full-on a dirt racer after racing with the Badger Kart Clubs. Looking forward to Brendan Ostrowski. He brought his family and friends with him as well, so come on down and join the racing crowd. We also are going to be joined by a guy named Greg McCarnes, who's on his way from a track meet as we speak. He's been a busy guy. He's not running track, his daughter is, but in reality, Greg McCarnes, who owns the ARCA Midwest Tour, promotes Angel Park Speedway, and has a couple of races coming up for the ARCA Midwest Tour, including at Slinger this coming Sunday, and the next Sunday at his own track, Madison International Speedway. And with Greg McCarnes' segment, we're going to talk to Matt Kenseth. Yeah, the 2003 NASCAR champion from Cambridge, Wisconsin. Matt will be on our show. We wanted to get him here to sit next to me, but guess what? He just ran the Boston Marathon yesterday, so it's going to be a little hard for Matt to do that, but we'll get him on a video link when we get a chance to talk to Matt Kenseth. We take any chance we can, and Matt will be joining us live tonight. He's racing Sunday, May 1st at Madison International Speedway, his home track, in a super late model prepared by Pathfinder Chassis. That'll be fun to talk to him. We've got the NASCAR report. Lots going on in the dirt world at Bristol. They're racing at Talladega this weekend. Busy schedule. We'll get you up to speed on that. Dean Strom has also just pulled in. We're talking the Bonafide Security Solutions short track report. Got some results from near and far and some races to look forward to. And when we come back, we are previewing the 45th spring opener for the Rockford Speedway, who's celebrating 75 years in existence. That quarter-mile racetrack's a beauty. And we're talking to Eric Henefeld, who's back in a PR/man behind the microphone role at Rockford Speedway, his home track as well when it comes to pavement racing. They've got a great program for us this Saturday at Rockford Speedway in their 75th year of racing. The 45th Spring Classic is at Rockford Speedway this Saturday night. We're previewing that next here on the Racing Roundup Show. Stay tuned to hear some from our great sponsors. Can't thank them enough for making this show possible. We'll be back in just a moment after hearing from some of those great supporters of the Racing Roundup Show. Join the racing crowd. Come on down and join us.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundupshow.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Add value and beauty to your home or commercial property with professional landscaping from Central Services Company, Incorporated. The team at Central Services is their personal choice of over 45 years of satisfied customers in Southeast Wisconsin for landscape design, construction, and grounds maintenance. Call Central Services at 262-548-0005 for all your landscaping and lawn care needs. No job is too large or too small. From lawn fertilization and weed control to award-winning landscape construction and building your backyard patio oasis, Central Services is your full-service landscape company. Call the experts at Central Services at 262-548-0005 for a free, no-obligation consultation at your home or business. Find out why Central Services can provide you with the visual difference in the art of landscaping and lawn care. Call 262-548-0005. Central Services, the visual difference in landscaping.
Has a thrilling, jam-packed race season coming May through September. Vintage racing, IndyCar, NASCAR, and more. Don't wait. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help you with your spring cleaning. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Allis, Waukesha, and Milwaukee, right next to Miller Park. ARR Recycling since 1938.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Millwright Raceway in Dousman, Wisconsin, home of the Badger Kart Club. Walk the pit area, talk to racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand. Spectator admission is free. Badger Kart Club points racers and National Touring Series race on the challenging paved road course most Sundays from April through September. Badger Kart Club is well established and well respected. There's 15 classes and over 100 drivers racing every week. From ages 5 to 75, kart racing offers competition for generations of racers of all ages. Bring the kids and check out kart racing for yourself at one of America's finest kart tracks. This is where Alan Kowicki, Danica Patrick, Sam Mayer, and Josh Palicki got their start. Millwright Raceway is just south of I-94 in Dousman, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. For all the latest information, directions, and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
And we're back on the Racing Roundup Show. Thanks for tuning in to our program. Looking forward to seeing you sometime soon here at Paulies Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield. We're doing our shows through April here at Paulies Pub and Eatery. It's right down the road from Miller Park. Now it's called American Family Field. That's where the Milwaukee Brewers play. There are brewer shuttles to every home game from Paulies. Big concerts downtown, don't worry about the parking. They got you covered with shuttles going to big concerts as well. Come and enjoy the fun at Paulies. They have live music 4, 5, 6 nights a week. 7 nights a week, I think, sometimes in the summer with the outdoor patio. Plus, there's a lot of fun to see and do, including tonight. There's a Troubadour Tuesdays, again, an act coming on our stage as we vacate. Thus the drums, and I don't play them, so they're right behind me here. But believe me, a lot of fun things happening here at Paulies every day of the week. Hey, we're grateful to have the support on our show of Automatic Transmission Design. It's a racing family-owned business with ASE-certified technicians who can tackle any job, from oil changes to exhaust systems to transmission rebuilds, and even in-house design and build of your race car or off-road truck's drivetrain. Visit ATD Germantown in Germantown. Find them on Facebook or log on to autotransdesign.com. We also want to thank our friends at ARR for sponsoring this segment of the program. Turn your recyclable metals into cash today at Allied Resource Recovery. They have 3 locations: ARR West Allis Recycling at 80th and Burnham, ARR Waukesha Recycling at 1001 Tesh Court in Waukesha, of course. And you can cash in at National Salvage on South 44th Street across from where the Milwaukee Brewers play. The website to visit, AlliedResourceRecovery.com. Among our prize stash tonight, we have giveaways after the show, including bottles of Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup. From Interstate Batteries, you have Joe Gibbs Racing merchandise, racing calendars, and because Kyle Busch won the race, we have a battery pack that you can charge 2 things at the same time with USBs. We're giving that battery pack away, along with some LED flashlights, thanks to Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin. Brendan Ostrowski's T-shirts hanging over here. You can take that home as one of our prizes tonight. We also want to thank Derek Crane for bringing his racing hats and T-shirts. Plus, he has some Gearhead coffee tumblers. There's some coffee inside them. I looked. They're really cool. And they have, he also brought from Painters Plus, one of his sponsors, certificates to have one of your rooms, a 10x10 room in your house, painted for free. Maybe it's your office. So that's kind of cool. Those are prizes to give away after the show tonight. And on your way in, make sure you stop with your camera and look at Derek's beautiful sprint car he brought here to display. So thank you, Derek, and the team for making the effort to bring their car down to display here at the show as well. It's time for the Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin NASCAR report. Interstate is a founding sponsor of Joe Gibbs Racing. Interstate Batteries are the #1 replacement battery in North America, and Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin has batteries for every need. Visit interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. Kenosha, Wisconsin-based Jockey International is already sponsoring the NASCAR Cup Series race for the 2nd year this July at Road America. Well, yesterday they announced they're getting involved in the NASCAR team sponsorship. Jockey International is going to sponsor Trackhouse Racing for 6 races, 4 with Ross Chastain, and 2 with his teammate in the Cup Series, Daniel Suarez. The cars are awesome. Big old American flag, nose to tail. Jockey made in America, really big on the side. Looking for seeing that Wisconsin proud car on the racetrack, starting at the Coke 600 on Memorial Day weekend with Ross Chastain behind the wheel. The Bristol Dirt Race for the Cup Series came down to the final quarter mile to decide the winner between 2 dirt experienced drivers. Chase Briscoe tried a slide job. He said, as soon as they went in the corner, I knew it wasn't come out. I was going to spin or something. Well, sure as heck, he spun into the leader at the time, Tyler Reddick. Both cars spun down, Both lost the race. Briscoe took the blame. Kyle Busch lucked into the victory, which now extends his string to 18 straight years of winning a Cup race. For 18 straight years, that ties the King Richard Petty. Nobody else has done that. He also has his 60th career victory. That's most of anybody active in the Cup Series. So he's got a lot going for him. And we've got some great prize packs from Interstate Batteries because of that great win he had on Sunday night, on Easter. With Reddick, man, he did his best. David Pearson, 1976 Daytona 500 recreation of when he and Petty crashed. They went to the infield and they're trying to get their cars going, and Petty's guys are pushing him. Well, Reddick was trying to refire from the apron, and he jetted towards the start-finish line, but didn't get there in time. Kyle Busch scooted past him with the inch and a half to spare, it seemed like, on the outside to win his first race of the season. And Reddick ended up finishing second. Last year's Bristol Dirt winner, Joey Logano, was third. Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, Alex Bowman, Christopher Bell. These guys all have racing experience. And Chase Elliott. Blaney probably not so much, but everybody else has taken to the dirt, including Kyle Busch, who's actually done some micro-sprint racing, first at the Chili Bowl, and again this summer where he won with his son on the same night, I think at Millbridge. So he's having some fun on the dirt, and an impressive run by Michael McDowell in ninth as well. Give him a handshake and a hat shake because he's known for his road racing and his big track stuff. And McDowell in Front Row Motorsports coming in ninth at Bristol on the dirt. Good job. It was announced this week that NASCAR Cup Series driver Chase Briscoe, who again was involved in that spin, was really apologetic. He'll be racing his own 410 wing sprint car in the Kunis RV-sponsored IRA Outlaw Sprints show Thursday night, June 30th at the Plymouth Dirt Track. They just announced the sponsorship. Briscoe's already committed. He's running his wing 410 car there. That's the Thursday night of NASCAR weekend at Road America. And if you have not done this yet, I did it today. I went online and looked. You need to get a camping spot. Today is the final day to get the pricing that is priced right now for the NASCAR weekend at roadamerica.com. Campsites are going quick. There's not that many left, and you want to go to roadamerica.com for the final day of the early season pricing level. Today's the day, so get on it, roadamerica.com. We also want to tell you that it was an interesting day for the Truck Series on Friday night. Ben Rhodes mowed him down with 11 laps to go. The defending series champ drove into the great battle for fourth and fifth between USAC champ Buddy Kofoid. Never been in a truck before. Started 32nd. Was running fifth behind Ty Majeski. Ty's never raced on dirt in his life. The Seymour, Wisconsin driver even got talked to by TV at the second stage break. That's how good he was doing. Like, hey, what's up, Ty? Hey, just figuring this dirt stuff out. Ty ended up running behind Kofoid. Then Ben Rhodes got in the middle of all of it, slid across the nose of Kofoid, not knowing if I don't think they made contact, but Kofoid couldn't trust the nose. He spun. Majeski spun. As they're both trying to figure things out, here comes Derek Krause from Stratford, Wisconsin, the other Wisconsin driver in the race, sliding in to the side of actually the rear corner of Majeski's truck, and they really had to struggle from there. Unfortunately for those three drivers, they did not have the best of runs, and they did not finish in the top 20. It turned out that just like it was at, I think, Knoxville last year on the dirt, Carson Hocevar held the lead late in the NASCAR Truck Series race. He didn't win the race there, didn't win the race on Friday night. It went to Ben Rhodes, who powered past it with a really strong three-wide move between John Hunter Nemechek on the inside and Hocevar on the outside with a 4-lap to go restart in the 150-lapper. Only Hocevar and Ben Rhodes officially led laps in the truck race Friday night. Tennessee natives Mike Marlar, Jimmy Owens, and Scott Bloomquist were the top three finishers in the Kyle Larson Dirt Late Model Race event Thursday night at Volunteer Speedway in Bulls Gap, Tennessee, just down the road from Bristol. Marlar repeatedly pulled away from the field. Larson was passed for third after the white flag. William Byron spun early in the night, was awarded a provisional, pulled off early. Marlar banked $20,000 Thursday night and drove a Rayon Brothers truck to a 17th place finish in the truck race on Friday at the dirt at Bristol. So nice job by Mike. On a NASCAR-related note, Eldora Speedway has hired Jerry Gappens, a former SMI track general manager at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, to take over as general manager at Eldora. Roger Slack is stepping away after a dozen years at Eldora. I first got to know Roger when he was this 15-year-old kid. He was promoting figure eight races in Canada with his dad, and he also was the flagman for the ASA National Tour at the time. Pretty flamboyant guy. A lot of fun to hang out with him in the 1990s. This weekend, it's ARCA and NASCAR Xfinity Series racing on Saturday, the Cup Series on Sunday with Dale Jr. in the Fox TV booth on Talladega's broadcast on Sunday. I'm headed to work with the ARCA on FS1 team this Saturday. I'll have a full report on Talladega's NASCAR weekend next week on the Racing Roundup Show. This Saturday's a big day here locally. You want to check it out. It's called the 45th Spring Classic at Rockford Speedway. We are bringing in Rockford Speedway's Eric Heinefeld to tell us more. Eric, welcome to the Racing Roundup Show.
Jim, thanks for having me.
It's good to see you, good to hear you on the show, and people will actually get to see you talking about racing at a racetrack. How excited are you for this Saturday and all the things going on at Rockford?
Well, I'll tell you, the way the weather has been around here, I'm just excited to be at a racetrack in general. But no, it's exciting. Spring Classic, getting back going here at Rockford Speedway for our 75th anniversary, which is going to be big. And for this Big 8 race and a full show, 3 divisions here in total, but we got a really good field of late models that look like they're going to be running on Saturday night.
Drop some names on us. You got some heavy hitters racing at Rockford Speedway in the Big 8, their first race of the season, as well as the spring opener for Rockford.
For sure, Jim. You're right. Big names, guys that not only have done a lot in the Big 8 series, that have won spring classics, but just some of the best in the Midwest. Some of our early entrants include Casey Johnson, of course, who's everywhere and does everything in late models and is a 2-time Big 8 series champion. Dale Nottestad, who won last year's spring classic. He'll be here defending the title, looking to win 3 spring classics, which there's only been, I think, maybe a handful of guys ever that have done that. Guys named like Carlson and Shear and Trickles. That's a pretty big list if he gets on it. John Reynolds Jr., who, of course, is a 4-time Rockford Speedway champion and a former Spring Classic champion.
Racer X,
he has
baby.
entered.
Got to do it every time. Driver X.
That's right.
Yeah.
But Max Kaler, former national short track champion, former Big 8 champion, good at Rockford. Austin Nason, who dominated the national short track championship last year and has had such a great start this year in the super late models here at his home track. And 2-time Spring Classic winner Mike Byer, good at Rockford, veteran. He's thrown his hat in the ring. And all told, Jim, and as we're still getting entries for the race, we are very close to 30 late models on the pre-entry list. And guys from 4 states, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois. So it's exciting. It's doubly exciting to see a really good weather forecast. I'm trying not to look at it because you know how it can change, but things are kind of aligning for what I think will be a big night for Spring Classic at night for the first time.
And it's going to be in the daytime when fans can get in there already. Gates open already at 1:30, practice rounds soon after, qualifying earlier in the afternoon, and racing starts at 5 already between the Bandits, the Mid-American Stock Cars, and the Big 8 late models. That's an aggressive program, but we got to tell people to get there earlier than they might anticipate.
Right, yeah, it's different. Of course, Spring Classic forever and ever has been a daytime race. The way the calendar fell this year, with Easter so late, it kind of threw a wrench in how we usually schedule Spring Classic here at Rockford. So we were looking at different things. And I think, if I remember right, in 2020, we were going to run Spring Classic at night. And, well, every plan on earth kind of got rearranged in 2020. So that didn't happen. So we're running it on a Saturday night, which has never been done. It's always been a Sunday afternoon, a little earlier than normal. Much like Saturday night of National Short Track Championships when it's a 5 o'clock start. But you're right, Big 8 late models, Mid-Am Racing Series, which they are bringing 20-plus cars, it looks like, really good cars. And our Bandit Blast 4-cylinder race, and entries keep trickling in for that, and they always put on a good show here, too. But, yeah, gates open at 3 o'clock. Practice will be going starting at 1:30. We qualify at 3:30, and races step off at 5 o'clock, highlighted by the big 88-lap Spring Classic for the Big 8 Series. And
it's a Kunis RV-sponsored race, man. It's great to see Terry Kunis and that family of businesses really get involved in racing. We talked about Kunis getting involved in a dirt sprint car race at Plymouth June 30th. They're actually on billboards at racetracks. It's great to see that sponsorship and support, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. And, of course, they've really expanded. You see their name everywhere, too. And for us, their local dealership is down the road in Belvedere. They've jumped on board with some different sponsorship here at Speedway and with the Big 8 Series. And, yeah, you're right. They're jumping full bore in. But with Terry, racing guy himself, he certainly understands what supporting local racing means. And we're happy to have him on board.
The Mid-American Series races the Magnuson 44-lapper, the 88-lap Kunis RV, 88-lap Big 8 season opener, 30 cars. You're not going to start all 30, are you? That's going to be kind of crazy around that quarter-mile Rockford.
No, we are not starting all 30. And if our scorer is listening, I'm sure she's nodding her head. No, we're not starting them all. We'll start as many as 24 cars for the 88-lap race.
Where can we find out more details about this 75th season and, more importantly, about this Saturday's Spring Classic happenings, Eric?
Yeah, Jim, if people want to find out more, there's lots of ways to find out as far as anything involving Rockford Speedway. Spring Classic, and as you said, the historic 75th anniversary. People can check out RockfordSpeedway.com. They can like us on Facebook. They can follow us on Twitter and at RFD Speedway. Big 8 Series is on the web as well. Our web address has changed for the Big 8 the last couple of years, so it's a new one. It's a new and improved website, big8latemodels.com. And to find everything for this weekend and the season, and the Big 8 Series is also on Facebook and on Twitter at Big 8 Series.
All right, we can't thank you enough, Hammer. It's great having you on the program. Have fun Saturday.
You bet. Good to see you. We'll see you down the road.
Sounds good. Thank you. How about I say for Eric Kienefeld joining us here on the program. Thank you, Eric, for dialing us in on Rockford Speedway Spring Classic this Saturday night. RockfordSpeedway.com is where you want to find out more about that. We're talking sprint car racing next. On the way, Greg McCarns has made it successfully from the track meet. I don't see him wearing the bib anymore, so I think he got the high hurdles figured out. Greg will be on the program. Matt Kenseth coming up. And we've got Brendan Ostrowski on tap as well with a dirt modified background. We're talking about his exciting run to his now third season behind the wheel of a dirt modified here in Wisconsin. Stay tuned. You're watching and hanging out with us at Paulies. This is the Racing Roundup Show. We'll be right back.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Automatic Transmission Design is located in Germantown, Wisconsin. They've been hard at work the last 15 years in perfecting the best performance racing transmissions and converters. The folks at ATD have made it possible to offer the best quality and most affordably priced winning components for off-road, drag racing, truck pulling, and circle track applications. ATD may not be the biggest or most famous company in the marketplace, but they have the will and put in that extra effort to provide you with the best products available. ATD certified technicians go through a comprehensive quality checklist on every transmission and converter they build. Then it's tested on their in-house dyno. Only then is the product ready for shipment to the customer. ATD takes these steps to provide you with the best quality products every time. They are 100% guaranteed. Their no returns policy makes sure it's right the first time. The next time you need a performance transmission or converter, give Charlie a call at 262-251-7777 or visit autotransdesign.com.
Need a pack and move? Well, we do a lot of them. And we have all the proper materials to pack your belongings safe and sound so they arrive in the same condition as they went out in. Packing boxes, bubble wrap, mirror packs, lamp boxes, dish packs. We get the job done right. Packed and labeled properly so it all ends up in the right spot in your new place. This is Rick Vanderboom. Blue Mountain Express Moving and Storage will improve your move.
BlueMountainExpress.com. We will improve your move.
Statewide.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair, from oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive.
Matt Kenseth returns to MIS Sunday afternoon, May 1st for the Joe Shear Classic 200. Presented by Keen Park. See the stars and cars of the ARCA Midwest Tour battle on Wisconsin's fastest half mile for $15,000 to win. Plus Midwest trucks and 602 Outlaw late model. Get advanced discount tickets and information at MISRacing.com. The ARCA Midwest Tour returns to Madison International Speedway for the Joe Shear Classic 200 featuring NASCAR champ Matt Kenseth. First race 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon, May 1st. Madison International Speedway. Don't miss it.
Whatever that means. Hey, this is live showtime. Thank you, Sam. Taking pictures, sharing them on Facebook. We can watch our show on Facebook Live on our website, racingroundupshow.com, which goes right to YouTube. And a great time is had by all, so make sure you tell your friends. Share our program with your friends, please. Like us on Facebook, and you get that Facebook Live dingy thingy right in your inbox when it comes to be 6 o'clock on Tuesdays from now through September. Great to have you along with the show. Having a lot of fun. This is the Racing Roundup Show. We're grateful to have support of great sponsors, including Matt Rapina, Caldwell Banker, Home Sale Realty, Matt actually goes out of his way, not only for you, but the customers that he's working with every day, whether it be you're buying or selling a home or a commercial property. Look at mattrapina.com. That's Matt Rapina, Coldwell Banker Home Sale Realty. He is a realtor that has the knowledge and confidence to get your deal done and expertise. Not all realtors are the same. Choose Coldwell Banker Home Sale Realty and list it with Matt Rapina. Knowledge is power. Hire knowledge. That website address, mattrapina.com. mattrapina.com. D. Strom is back from his world tour of Muskego.
I was going to say,
You've been
where have
traveling a
I
lot.
been the last week?
Well, whole week home.
Whose helmet do we have here?
This is Derek Crane's helmet. We're going to be talking to Derek next on the show.
That is a good-looking helmet.
It's not a giveaway, though. I can tell you that much. Beyond that, I don't know.
Should I sweet talk him? Maybe we can get it. No?
He's got to use that thing in a week's time or so.
Hey, it's Jim. It's the Bonafide Security Solutions Short Track Report. Bonafide Security Solutions for camera and alarm systems for your home or business. Program card access, gun safes. It's a lock. Support the racers at Team Bonafide by calling 262-790-9400. Go online, bonafidesafe.com. Bonafide, they protect what you value. Jim, last week we had on Anderson's Maple Syrup Sprint Car Racer Bill Baylog.
Yeah, he's sitting in the chair you are in right now.
Yeah. He opened up the 2022 All-Star Sprint season in fine fashion this past week. They had a doubleheader at Attica Raceway Park. Started 23rd Friday night. Had to come up through the B main. Started 23rd. Drove up to 6th.
I was watching the scoring, and my goodness, he was flying. And he ended up, he probably could have passed 2 more cars if they had 1 more caution.
Saturday night, Baylog won his heat. Finished 7th in the feature event. Sunshine, Tyler Courtney, swept the weekend. Brady Bacon, defending USAC National Sprint Car Champion, scored his first win of the 2022 campaign, claiming the win at Atomic Speedway. Robert Blue, CJ Leary rounded out the podium finishers. Carson Macedo took home the big check at I-55 Speedway World of Outlaw Sprint Car Action, Peevely, Missouri. If you haven't gone to World of Outlaw, their page, World of Outlaw Sprint Car page, they put up highlights. You got to watch this highlight if you have not done it already. I mean,
Carson Macedo at Schrader's track in Peevely?
And it was rough and fast. And it was Sheldon Hodenshield put it on its side early on, brought out a caution, changed the front axle, changed the wing, I think, drove back up to 4th. I mean, it was crazy.
Cool.
So that was a great night. Check out the highlights. Like I said, Wisconsin racer Scotty Field made the long haul to suburban St. Louis and made the A main. Jim, Whipperfirth Memorial, we talked about that last week here on the show. It was scheduled for this past weekend. Beaver Dam Raceway, it was postponed. IRA Sprints scheduled to open up their season this Saturday night again at Beaver Dam Raceway.
And we have Steve Sinclair next week on our show. We have Ryan Marshall, the defending Wisconsin Wingless champ, on our show next week. So we'll have to bring that up about how their season's getting going here.
ARCA Midwest Tour, we're going to talk about that here in just a little bit.
Yep.
But they got 2 big shows coming up. Sunday afternoon races back-to-back on their schedule this Sunday. Miracle on the High Banks at the Slinger Super Speedway. You might have to ask Greg McCarns why it's called Miracle on the High Banks.
I know why it's a Miracle on the High Banks. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be locals against the big boys, and it's going to be a lot of fun. 34 entries thus far.
Gates open at 11. Then the following Sunday, May 1st, Joe Shear Classic at Madison International Speedway, and the return of Matt Kenseth to MIS, where he won the 1994 track championship. Both Midwest Tour races sponsored in part by Keen Parts. Keen Parts, supporting sponsor. You can visit midwesttour.racing for more details. You and I, we're going to be on the call for both of those fine races.
Yep.
So we're going to get to see some good short track racing on back-to-back Sundays.
Absolutely.
Live up and close on midwesttour.tv, so that'll be a lot of fun. CK Contractors, LLC.com brings us the Wilmot Raceway happenings. Hire the pros at CK Contractors for Lake Michigan shore restoration, lot grading, excavation, retention pond building, and a whole lot more. Opening night for weekly racing at Wilmot Raceway, the dirt track on the Kenosha County Fairgrounds, is not this, but next Saturday, April the 30th. You can get your tickets now for the Friday night, May 20th. This is going to be a big one. IRA versus the All-Star Sprints, Friday night, May 20th at the Wilmot Raceway, wilmotraceway.com for more details there. And the Millwright Raceway, home of the Badger Kart Club in Dousman. 2 more weeks of non-points tune-ups before they go with their first point race on Sunday, May the 8th Visit BadgerCartClub.com for more info there.
I'd like to thank our friends at Bonafide Security Solutions. Mike Egan and his family have been in business for a long time, generations of businesses. So if you need that card access, you need that safe, you need the gun safe, you need to make sure your cameras are working in sync. You can watch your house on your phone. You can watch your business front door whenever you feel like it if you're away. They've got it going on. They're high tech.
I want to talk about one, just give a real quick plug, Jim, to one of our other longtime sponsors, ARR, Allied Resource Recovery. I took my cans in there this past week.
Yep.
You know what they're paying for aluminum cans?
How much?
$1 a pound.
Whoa.
The most it's ever been.
So I should not have taken my cans to the Waukesha Recycling Center about a month and a half ago. Then.
No, you should have waited.
All right. ARR. They do turn your cans into cash. That $1 a pound's a lot of money.
$1 a pound, yep. All recyclables are really worth a lot.
Well, our friend Phil Rayberg said, hang on to him, that's coming back. Now he's paying out. So cash in. Thank you, Dean. We have a guest with us. We're talking short track racing. He's been on our program before, but more importantly, we've got a lot to talk about. We welcome back with not only his helmet, but he brought a bunch of stuff to give away. Brought his friends and family and a race car. How about I say for Derek Crane? Derek, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
On the Facebook at Derek DC Crane to be all up and uppity. It's got to be fun and exciting for you knowing what's ahead on your schedule this year.
Yeah, it's crazy because last time I was here, I just mentioned that we're going to go 410 racing.
Yeah, you did mention that.
I had no plan on how we were going to get there.
And you're here.
Yeah, and we're here. Just kind of sat back and just kind of let things happen over the course of last year and came across this deal of this car that's sitting out here. And, we're here. We're ready.
So we've seen you race Wisconsin Wingless, which is a 602 crate engine. 604 crate engine. So you got that kind of handled.
Yeah.
But then you got the itch. On this show, you're like, I think I want to try that.
Yeah.
So what goes into making that change or making that difference from what you've been racing and adding this to your schedule?
Yeah, so I want to give a huge shout out to the Wisconsin Wingless Sprint Series and Steve Sinclair and everyone that's in that program because basically the Wisconsin Wingless cars are USAC cars. So it's just take the motor out, put a 410 motor in there, and then there's a little couple different things. We got tire bleeders on here, so that's a little bit different.
Okay.
In-car shock adjusters. So I think that's going to be like the main learning curve there. We've been partnered with Spike since 2017, so we have a pretty good relationship with them. So when we go down there a lot, can talk their ear off.
Spike chassis are involved in every level of racing, which is going to help you. How many races will you do in Wisconsin? How many races are you going to travel outside the Badger State when it comes to 410 non-wing sprint car racing?
So right now we're looking at about 28-ish races out of the state. We only have 2 confirmed dates in Wisconsin.
That's end of June, right? That big weekend?
Yes, the big weekend, the USAC weekend, which is kind of a pretty cool deal because since I was 3, I've wanted to race a non-wing sprint car, 410, of course. And my parents' first date was at Wilmot back in 1981. And when we ran go-karts at Badger Kart Club on Saturday nights, we'd go to Wilmot a lot. So that's actually going to be my first USAC start is at Wilmot.
Okay.
Wasn't planning on that, but just looking at the schedule and stuff, which when you're not running for points at all, it's actually kind of nice, but then it's also stressful because you don't know how you're going to make it work.
And those fancy provisionals just happen to appear for guys that are racing every time with the series or that track, so you're kind of on an outlaw schedule almost.
Yeah. So at first we were just going to weekend off, weekend on, weekend off, weekend on. But then as I was looking at Sunday tracks, there's really only Kokomo and Circle City. Circle City is first year running full time this year because they started in 2020, but then the pandemic and all that stuff. So they only have 7 points races for sprint cars spanning from May till October.
Is that where you're going to run most?
Yeah.
You gonna commit to that?
Yeah, we're committing to that, and then just find tracks on Friday and Saturday really to race. They do have a Wednesday night race because their sprint cars are the support class for the Indiana Midget Week, so we're going to be down there for 6 days, 5-6 days there. So, yeah, it's kind of fun, but scary at the same time.
And you mentioned the 410 wingless car you have here today. Is that your only race car you're racing this year?
Right now, kind of working on some wingless deals right now. Haven't been confirmed yet, so I just don't want to say anything just yet. But.
So if an opportunity pops up and it's available on your schedule, you might think about it, but it would probably be somebody else's stuff. Am I reading through the lines on that?
Yeah, someone else's stuff, of course. But I'll race a shopping cart, so modified, mini sprint, street stock, bandit, I don't care, Wayne car.
You got a beautiful helmet. Once again, you brought it with us. I mean, that's a wonderful paint job on a helmet company I know you are a big-time supporter of.
Yeah, huge thanks to Jax, the helmet we ran last year, and it's got a couple chips in it, but he does a great job with the paint. Very little chips, and then of course, a quality helmet like Rouge is amazing to be backed by them, and every year it's the best helmet out there. It's really comfortable, especially if you wear glasses like me. The glasses come in and out of the helmet really easy. So, and there's a bunch of cool safety features with radios and that are inside the helmet, so I don't even have to have earplugs in, and it's just great.
And it's molded already for the Hans clip, so it's not a matter of having to drill through the body of the helmet or have somebody kind of figure that out. It's already looks like it's made for that, so that's a really good system already in place.
Yeah, so the first helmet I bought was the Simpson, and when I got it, I had to drill the holes out, which that's kind of scary.
Yeah, right. It's where my head goes, and hope I don't crack it.
Yeah, so when we were at PRI and I saw the helmet and just kind of went with that, and we started a partnership and everything, and the helmet's just been great. I think it's my second or third Rouge helmet, so I can't wear anything else.
Without much sleep, going on the road as much as you're going to be, I'm really thankful you got a coffee company helping you out. That's got to be a big deal.
Yes, Gearhead Coffee is made for racers by racers. I'm a huge coffee drinker already. I'll drink a half a pot by myself before sprint car racing. And it was actually our first kind of like feeler of the 2022 season, and we just partnered up with them. We'll have Gearhead Coffee at some of our races too for sampling, which is really cool. And my favorite flavor would have to be 427 Stroker. If you guys are coffee drinkers, that's a pretty good one. And
so it's got like 5 times the caffeine and it's just pitch black, that kind of thing?
Yeah, if it was a race car, it'd be a 410.
Well, 427 is a pretty cool engine if you got that back in the day in the muscle car era.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's cool. It's called Gearhead Coffee. How do we get it?
Go to gearheadcoffee.com. They were so awesome, and they sent me 2 tumblers with 2 samples inside, and then I also have Gearhead stickers too.
And you brought along some painting certificate. Who likes to paint their house? I don't. 10 by 10 room for free from Painters Plus. How'd that come about?
So that's a good, funny story right there. So it started off with our church, and the pastor and his wife texted me that they wanted to help out and do a toll sponsorship, and then that led into one of the other members of the church wanting to buy us a tire, which tires are increasing.
That's
so of course,
a godsend, literally.
You can't race without tires.
Yep.
So he bought us a tire, and then I mentioned that we're going to be on the radio here, or the radio show, and he just said, print one out for us, or for you guys, and he's very high energy. I would say that. He's awesome. He just makes you in a really good mood.
And I'm reading the certificate now. It does not say it has to be in your house. It could be your office. It could be that walk-in closet. It's a 10 by 10 room painted for free. Painters Plus, and this is the certificate. So thanks for bringing that to give away at the show, too.
Yes, huge thanks to Alan at Painters Plus.
DC Racing, I see there's some hats we see. We got some T-shirts. I imagine that's kind of a cool thing. Some racers buy tires because of what they sell for merch. I mean, that's going to be a neat thing for you as an outlaw driver.
Yeah.
Hang that thing on a hanger as soon as you unload the car, right?
Yeah, so there's a lot of different things going on, too, with being an outlaw and not really having a home track or anything. So I brought our last few couple hats from last year, just because his last hats that we have is crates. We're partnered up with Pit Road Apparel, Gary over here. And he actually just handed me something to put in the raffle. It's 10% off or $50 off, whichever is greater. And then there's a promotion code on here. So if you guys are looking for some merch ideas or vendor, definitely check him out.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
That's really nice. Yeah.
And so, we're partnered up with him. I'm really excited about our shirts. The last couple of shirts that we've had, well, actually all the shirts that we've had, I've done the designing, I've found the vendor, I found, all that, and it's just really time-consuming. And really, I just sent him the vector of the race car, the sponsor logos, and they've done a great job. It's in probably the last final mock changes here, and it's really cool. We do have a special ink going on, which...
Special ink?
Yeah.
Does it glow in the dark? Does it fix itself when you tear a hole in it trying to reach around to clean something?
It fixed a hole.
All right, good, great.
So, yeah, I'm
really
watching
a lot of those
that.
Matrix movies, everything kind of forms back together, Terminator, whatever.
Yeah, usually that happens to me when someone's crashing in front of me. Everyone just slows down, and I see it coming.
That doesn't happen to you, though, so you slow down to miss it. I like that idea.
Yeah. So, huge thanks to Pit Road Apparel.
When it comes to this race car, how many people are going to go with you? Because you have now got to make a pretty big commitment, leaving work on a Friday or maybe not home till Sunday night or early Monday morning kind of thing.
Yeah, so huge thanks to my wife. Ashley for mainly in the summer having weekends where I'm away. She's going to make every race that she can, which is great. But really right now it's just me and my dad. And we'll have a couple guys come with us. Jeff, which is my new boss at work, Rocky, Jimmy, and my brother, Nathan, when he's not racing. So that's what I'm kind of looking forward to do when I'm not racing is kind of spending the weekend with my wife, maybe going up to Wilmot every now and then to help Nathan out because he is driving for someone else this year.
I caught something there. You said my new boss is going to be with me on the crew. So I'm thinking from job interview to convincing him by the time you're done interviewing that he's got to help you on your race car. That's kind of an ingenious move. You might have to teach that class.
I wish I could, but he actually works on a different race team.
Oh, okay, all right.
So, I just made a job transfer because
Gotcha.
My previous job wasn't allowing me days off. And
Okay.
with this, it's really easy. And he came over and said I could have any race day I want off. And I was like, well, there we go.
As long as you put the time in, you know how to do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow, awesome.
Yeah.
Any other sponsors we've not covered yet? Because I want to make sure, because
Yes.
they work so hard at what you do, I want to make sure they're given their proper due.
Oh, yeah. So Max Weiss, Apt Electronics, Rouge Helmets, Painters Plus, Ashley B Photography, Pit Road Apparel, Gearhead Coffee, Bailing, Z-Max Oil, One Hope, which are these two lovely ladies here, Terry and Kelly. We're really excited because I can finally say this. We're going to have a diaper drive at Wilmot on the USAC night.
Great.
For One Hope. So One Hope is a nonprofit organization that helps fostering families keep them energized with diapers, gift cards, and that kind of stuff. So we're in Racine, but we're in Kenosha. We're in Kenosha County. But it's really nice to kind of just be a part of something in your own town. So we're partnered up with them. Again, we were partnered up with them in 2021. Really good experience.
If it makes sense to you guys, I'm offering this now. It's live on the show. If I know the race weekend for USAC at Wilmot is the 25th, 26th, somewhere in there, June
25th.
There is a Tuesday night race at Wilmot Raceway. That is the weekly show that won't be held that weekend or the weekend of July 4th. We're going to bring our Racing Roundup show to Wilmot Raceway on that Tuesday. If you'd like us to be part of that extension of a diaper drive, we'll be certainly happy to help you guys in that way, to bring a box or bring a bag, or we'll just give you what people want to bring. So we'll certainly help you promote that as well. You bet.
Also, Daybreak Church, they are paying for our tolls, which is something I didn't think about. We ran in Wisconsin for 6 years. Now we've got to go through Illinois. So they picked up the tolls for us. So
that's huge.
Huge thanks to Pastor Britt and his wife Stacy and Daybreak Church. Carbon Digital. We just partnered up with Be Kind as well. And then I got a text this morning from Team MSR, which are one of the Wisconsin wingless teams, and they want to buy 2 tires for us. So huge thanks to Sullivan, Mike Sully, Nikki, and then they're watching. So hi, Bryce, Sully, Jeff, and Tom. And then special thanks to my mom and dad, Ashley, Jane, who's from church. She gave us two $25 gift cards to get us to Indiana our first weekend. So really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Jimmy, Rocky, Jeff, and then everyone that came out, part of Crane Racing, and everyone else that showed up for Ostrowski and the rest of the show.
When's your first race? I'm getting excited for you.
April 30th, May 1st. That's
Where?
the first weekend. Lincoln Park and Circle City.
So Circle City is that brand new racetrack in Indianapolis proper, and you're going to race there for points, the 7 races they run. So where can we find out where you're racing and follow you along this time?
You can follow me on craneracing.net and then Facebook, Crane Racing LLC.
Derek, it's been a pleasure once again to have you here. I'm excited for you. Looking forward to seeing a great season, and it kicks off April 30th for him. Wisconsin proud, Derek Crane. Let's give him a hand. Thank you, Derek, for being on the show.
Thanks for having us.
You bet. Thanks for bringing the car, the toys, the fun, the giveaways. Tradition of having his helmet on the stage as well carries on through. And if you want to be part of our show, thank you very much for the certificates as well. If you want to be part of our show, go to our website, racingroundupshow.com. You can click the Contact Us button to advertise on our show. You want to give some stuff away. And by all means, you can actually have the opportunity to be a guest on the show as well by clicking Contact Us. So looking forward to having you as part of our program. Make sure you sign our Bob Trado Sign Writer backdrop as well. And you forgot something, didn't you? I thought you were clicking your fingers like, hey, Jim, I got one more thing.
No. I'm good.
You're good.
Yeah.
All right, Derek, thank you so much. We're coming right back. We have Greg McCarnes lined up with this guy named Matt Kenseth on the Racing Roundup Show when we come back.
thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundupshow.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Millwright Raceway in Dousman, Wisconsin, home of the Badger Kart Club. Walk the pit area, talk to racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand. Spectator admission is free. Badger Kart Club points racers and National Touring Series race on the challenging paved road course most Sundays from April through September. Badger Kart Club is well established and well respected. There's 15 classes and over 100 drivers racing every week. From ages 5 to 75, kart racing offers competition for generations of racers of all ages. Bring the kids and check out kart racing for yourself at one of America's finest kart tracks. This is where Alan Kowicki, Danica Patrick, Sam Mayer, and Josh Palicki got their start. Millwright Raceway is just south of I-94 in Dousman, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. For all the latest information, directions, and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
Interstate Batteries, proud sponsor of the Racing Roundup Show and the number 18 of Joe Gibbs Racing. Interstate Batteries is the #1 replacement battery in North America. You deserve the best, so get the best. Go to interstatebatteries.com. Go to interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. Get yours today. Race on.
The Gravely Mower Series at Olson Outdoor Power is raising the bar on performance with smarter controls, longer run times, and more comfort. Add in layaway and financing from Olson's, and there's no lawn you can't conquer. Buy the best from the best. Gravely at Olson's Outdoor Power, Muskego.
This is America's longest-running weekly motorsports program, held in front of a live audience. Stay up to speed on the Wisconsin racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central. Thanks for joining us for the Racing Roundup Show. Once again, here is the trackside voice of the Daytona 500 and NASCAR at the track. You see him on MAV TV's live coverage of the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl and the Arca Menard Series. The host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Hey, gang, thanks again for being part of this April 19th broadcast. Looking forward to seeing you sometime soon here at Paulies Pub and Eatery. This is a wonderful show we've done for 38 years and counting. That's about as long as I've known our next guest, believe it or not. I knew him as a windshield wiper stuffing kid with programs and flyers from his dad promoting ArtGo races back in the day. We have a great segment for you here on the Racing Roundup Show. This portion is brought to you by BMRE Electric Carts in Random Lake. Brad Miller is Wisconsin's only Icon dealer and has in-stock inventory and customizing options available right now on their Facebook page, BMRE Electric Carts Company. Thanks to their support and many others you'll hear on this show. Make sure you go to our website, racingroundupshow.com, and look at all those sponsor logos. You can click on all of them and go to their website and support their business. They support us and short track racing. We've got the family, the Team McCarns represented here tonight, fresh off the track meet. Let's welcome in the owner of the ARCA Midwest Tour, co-owner of Madison International Speedway, promoter of Angel Park Speedway, and my friend, Greg McCarns. Greg, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me back for a 38th year. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I wasn't kidding about you and your brother Jeff going around and stuffing windshield wipers during races, because that's what Dad said. Hey, after you hand them out at the gate, you got to make sure they know what the next race is when they're leaving.
Yeah, we got arrested that was the first arrest, across the street at Milwaukee, putting flyers on the windshield. So, yep, it's been a long time, but we're still doing it. There's posters here for everyone to pick up. Good to see Eric Hienefeld made it up to be here tonight.
On the screen. He was on the screen.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I thought it felt like he was right here with us.
I heard him. I saw him.
Yeah.
You're busy. You're a really busy guy.
It's good. We poured concrete today at Madison. It added 240 foot of concrete slabs for the drivers, and tomorrow we turn the water on, and hopefully Brian and I aren't too busy sweating pipe. And
I saw the photos.
Get ready to go.
I saw the photos on Facebook. It's actually the slabs.
It's got to be true.
Right as you drive in the pits, to your immediate right before the scale building, you've got a nice new area there for. Is that going to be spots that are reserved, or is that just going to be
the toter homes? So most of these tracks are built in the 60s and 70s, and everyone buys these big toter homes, and there's nowhere to park them. So the racetracks are having to get creative on where to park them. So we moved a fence 40 feet and added the pit slab. So, yeah, it's all working out. But between the Midwest Tour shows and the USAC Silver Crown shows rolling into Madison, it was just time because it was needed. So away we go.
Madison International Speedway is the second race on the ARCA Midwest Tour schedule. I want to talk about the first one. It's this Sunday. It's the Keen Parts Miracle on the High Banks Slinger season opener for their Elite
75th.
Super Late models. 75th opener.
Yeah, what better
and
time
it's the
to do
first
it.
race for the ARCA Midwest Tour.
Yeah, it just the stars aligned.
It's a miracle.
So I thought it was, we've been working on that for a while. And Todd and I were actually both down in Daytona at the promoters meetings and just walking through the hallway, and he brought it up, and I thought it was dead in the water. And Brad Miller had actually kind of sent me a text a few days earlier, and next thing you know, the tour's in at Slinger, and I thought we were going to announce it when we announced the original schedule, and then it kind of fell on the back burner. But here we are. I mean, how cool! That's every year. That's what the fans want. That's what the drivers want. And I'm just glad that we were able to get the deal done, and looking forward to seeing the stars and cars on the High Banks Sunday afternoon.
I mentioned the ArtGo format. ArtGo is a predecessor. Your father and Art Frigo were part of that back in 1975, I want to say, when it got going.
Yep, 75.
And then through the years, there's been unique formats. And this format this Sunday at Slinger Super Speedway is going to be pretty unique for the series and for the Slinger regulars as well.
Yeah, it's 2 qualifying features, and then we'll transfer the top 10 out of each of them. And then top 2 in Slinger Point Provisionals, top 2 out of Tour Provisionals, and we'll go racing for 75 laps. So it's a 30-lapper, a 30-lapper to fill the 75-lapper. Something a little different, and something that is going to put a couple of twists and turns into Sunday afternoon.
Will you also have heat races and that kind of stuff?
So everyone will qualify, and then they'll be placed in basically an odd and an even feature.
Okay.
And then based on how they do in the feature, they'll fill the 75-lapper, and $5,000 to win on the 75-lapper, and big money, big names. We got right now we're at 34 entries for Sunday, and it's about half and half with the Slinger regulars and the Tour regulars. But we got 12 drivers in the field out of the 34 that have super late model championships. So most of them, like Eddie Hoffman.
I had him written down. I saw he was testing at Slinger the other day. Just getting serious about
awesome.
it.
But Mark Lamoureux he used to race ASA back in the 70s, and he's back at it. He's finally at a point in his life where he can come back racing full time. And so he's teamed up with Dean Cornelius. Eddie Hoffman calling me. He just calls me out of the blue and is like, hey, I think I want to do the tour again. He was my parents' final champion in 1997 in ArtGo. And before that, he was a champion in the Midwest Enduro Series, which we were a part of.
I got lapped by him 6 times in the only Enduro I ever drove in.
Yes.
He was so good.
Oh, that was only 6, huh?
Yeah, because my engine blew.
Okay.
I didn't finish the race.
Okay.
I would have been like 25 more laps watching him go by.
6 times in 25 laps? Yeah, that's about right.
It was more like 30 maybe. We had a red flag at one point, and then I lost the
Hoffman, his dad was really good.
They're geniuses when it comes to racing.
Eddie Hoffman, or Ed Jr., he's just his enduro driving skills. It's kind of like Kyle Stark. If you've seen Kyle Stark in an enduro,
I have.
That's what Eddie Hoffman was like in the 80s, and then he came into the Mid-American Series and so on. So it's been fun because we kind of grew up. He's older than I am, but I grew up watching him. And my first job for scoring was to cheat score Eddie Hoffman at Midwest Enduro Series races. So for him to come back on the tour, be the final ArtGo champion, he's never run at Slinger, all those things. I mean, he's the winningest driver at Grundy County Speedway. I mean, he was the guy to beat with like Brian Hoppy and those guys in the late 90s, early 2000s, and he's still winning races. So to have him back on tour is cool. Ty is going to be his first show in the Midwest. Luke Fenhouse is his first show in the Midwest.
Ty Majeski, that is, if you can get all that. Ty Majeski,
just a great mix of drivers. I'm always very proud on a Midwest Tour show, the caliber of driver that we're able to bring in. I think it's better than any Truck Series field or nationwide field that you have on TV any given weekend.
And the quality of the cars and the quality of the competition, I mean, it's amazing to know that skill level is here. There's a reason why we're excited to say we're Wisconsin proud. I say that by the meaning of all the work you put in, all the work that the teams have put in. The Midwest Tour is a hard nut to crack. I mean, we saw guys like Bubba Pollard take a provisional last year racing the Gander Auto Group 250 where you thought, okay, he's going to qualify, and great. Kyle Busch the year before couldn't pass Casey Johnson, ended up finishing 6th and shutting down his super late model team soon after because it's like hard to figure out how to beat these guys. It's got to be pretty exciting knowing that you've got that but a stable base of guys that really want to race with you.
Yeah, it's through and through in the Midwest. We get to race so much. So now that we're on the dirt track side also, I mean, you see it there. We did a Midwest's Best party. I think you had a couple beers there, right?
I did.
Down in Daytona.
I drank Busch Light because you drink Busch Light.
We had 110 people down on A1A in Ormond Beach, just drinking beer, watching racing, telling old stories. We had the champions from Raceway Park in Blue Island, Raceway Park in Shakopee. Conrad Morgan walks in, is wearing a T-shirt that says Midwest's Best. I mean, it's just awesome. The quality of people in short track racing is better than anything else in the world, and I'm so happy to be part of it.
This Sunday is not just a ARCA Midwest Tour race. This kicks off the season for Slinger Super Speedway. We're talking about Pro Late Models, Modifieds, Sportsmen, Slinger Bees, and American Super Cups are all part of what's going on this Sunday at Slinger Speedway. Gates open at noon, qualifying at 12:05, racing at 2. I'm sure gates open for the pits well before that.
7 o'clock.
7 a.m. So Dean and I should be there about 7 a.m. on Sunday because it's going to be a big day and a busy day.
Yeah, we'll pack a lot into one day, but it's going to be it's going to be memorable one way or the other. It's going to be a memorable day, and can't wait for Sunday to get here. So I'm supposed to ask you a question.
Oh boy,
which race on the Midwest Tour are you most looking forward to this year?
Well, I have to be fully honest with you. Last year, I had a lot of fun calling races that I didn't get a chance to ever be at. The most fun I had was my very first Oktoberfest 200 last October.
Fest is best.
Yeah. So I'd say that was the highlight. But one other highlight is going to be happening on Sunday, May 1st, that Sunday, the Joe Shear Classic. I also got the chance to go back for the Howie Letto Classic at Madison and see Travis Dassow and Casey Johnson win that emotional race. I mean, there's a lot of highlights, but I'd say Oktoberfest probably ranks up there because if you live around the area, if you've been in the Midwest, my friends that I travel with, they're like, you've never been to Oktoberfest? So that by far has been the highlight recently. There's
you should ride the garbage truck with me, man. Fest, it gets even that much more exciting when you're in the campground at 2 in the morning.
I did do some milling about. I hung out with Bobby G for a while.
There you go, yeah.
The dew set in at I think it was Saturday night, so it's kind of an eerie, kind of a fun atmosphere. But what a blast! What a ton of fun! I talked to Steve Carlson and his son Michael in the building there on.
I think Michael. I haven't talked to him in a month, but last I talked to him, he's going to go for the national championship in NASCAR in 4 cylinders between La Crosse and Madison. We're putting in a new quarter-mile track up at La Crosse as we speak. So,
and it's the first time it's been repaved, right?
Yep. It was put in '89, and it's getting repaved now. So a lot going on in our world, and just getting ramped up for a great 2022.
So we're talking about this Sunday. We'll put a period on the Slinger Miracle on the High Banks. It's sponsored by Keen Parts. We're actually going to have Tom Keen on our show next week. I want to find out more about what he does and how much fun he has supporting your series and the Joe Shear Classic. And what Keen Parts does. I mean, they sponsor the Quapples, they sponsor the Cup Car, they sponsor a lot of different things. So glad to see you guys have them involved.
I think they sell a lot of Corvette parts.
Yeah, CorvetteParts.net.
That's what I've gathered all this.
My question to you is, what's your favorite Corvette?
My favorite Corvette?
Yeah.
The one I don't have.
Yeah, well, somebody said, hey, here's one for $20,000. Would you say you're paying for it? You want to give me one? What would it be?
Yeah, vehicles like that don't work too well at the racetrack. So I picked my truck up from the shop today. Brady Little, one of our late model drivers, is working on it. He goes, yeah, your truck scared me today. The fender fell off as I was test driving it. It rusted off the truck. So, but that's okay. We got new concrete slabs at Madison, so we're good. The truck still runs. It'll get me from point A to point B, and hopefully Car Corner gets me a nice truck to drive all summer, and I'll worry about putting the other one back together in the fall.
You do have a truck that doesn't leave parts on the racetrack to be a pace truck, right?
Yeah, that's the one from Car Corner.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to get one of those every year because Greg McCarnes' trucks aren't too reliable.
I know the feeling. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We just put new leaf spring shackles on Al's truck because the leaf springs were pushing through the bed, so we figured it was probably time to do that. So a lot going on.
I did see one truck in hibernation, Angel Park Speedway. You guys have done a masterful job in just 1 year promoting that dirt track. That's the legendary home of Badger Midgets and all things racing for 80-some years. I did see when I went up there for the Badger Midget Banquet, I saw one of your trucks in storage in an outbuilding with a couple of trailers that said, Oktoberfest, or maybe it was Angel Park Speedway. Yeah, Angel Park Speedway. Sitting in a building, I'm like, whoa. Is that the dirt track truck only?
Was it Old Blue?
Could have been.
Yeah.
It was getting to
Old
be
Blue's
twilight.
a 75. She's a square body. Very proud of that truck.
Yep. So you protect that one. You don't drive that one until it falls apart.
That one will stay at the track. That one's not quite roadworthy, but yeah, we try.
When does Angel Park Speedway season get going?
So we open. We got a big weekend, May 13th and 15th. We start our Friday night NASCAR schedule at Madison on the 13th. Every one of our late model shows pays $240 to start, $1,000 to win. Had some sponsors step up on that. Very cool. And then we get going on the dirt at Angel Park on Sunday night, May 15th.
With your contacts, Greg, and I got to bug you more about that. You have a chance to put some big money into races. We're paying big money on Sunday, May 1st, the Joe Shear Classic. How much is that going to pay of our 200-lap race winner?
So it pays $1,500 to start and $15,000 to win. So the richest race in Midwest Tour history. And we got guys from all over. We got marathon runners that have entered. We got race car drivers that have entered. We got guys ready to go for $15,000 May 1st at MIS.
Now joining us in his return after a day of finishing in 3 hours and 1 minute and 44 seconds in the Boston Marathon. Let's welcome in Cambridge, Wisconsin NASCAR champion Matt Kenseth via the satellite. Matt, welcome to the Racing Roundup Show.
Hey, Jim, here's the deal. You just cheated me out of 4 seconds. It was 3:01:40.
Oh, sorry. I saw 2 times. They had the aggregate one, like 3:02. I'm like, that's not right.
Well, that means that he beat my time.
And you beat this guy named Jimmy Johnson's time. How'd you do that? He ran the marathon once, and you beat his time. It's crazy.
Yeah, I got to beat him at something. That was good. I struggled with that most of my career. So, we weren't really head to head, but yeah, I had a really good race. That was my best race that I've had. Everything kind of went according to plan, and we had good weather, and it was an awesome event. It was really fun, painful but fun.
Yeah, you and your wife Katie have also raced the Chicago Marathon. That's on foot, by the way. He's not driving it. You guys ran it together or in the same event. That takes a lot of commitment. I know
we ran the Berlin Marathon together in 2019.
In
so
Germany,
that was both of our first marathons, and it was kind of her way to get me to take her to Europe for a vacation. So she knew if I had something to train for and some crazy event to go do that. I would probably jump at the chance. So we both trained for that together, which was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun doing that together, and went over there and both ran our first marathon together, and then had a good time while we were there. So that was kind of the start of it, I guess.
And now you're coming back home to race in a Pathfinder chassis, super late model, at your home track, Madison International Speedway. It's been a few years. I think the last I talked to you during that Q&A, I said, what you been up to? He said, chasing the kids around. So I'm guessing the itch got to you and like, hey, Jason, put something together. I got to go racing at home again. This is going to be exciting to see you back in the race car. How pumped are you?
Yeah, I mean, I always like coming up there and racing. Obviously, Madison's a great racetrack, special place to me. And I had a fun time last time we were there, except for we got beat pretty bad. So look forward to come back there and try to we didn't run very well. So
Finish
look
fourth.
forward to coming back there and trying to do a little bit better job than we did last time, and hopefully challenging for a win. So Ty just kind of played with us most of the race, and pretty much had us and most of the field kind of dominated. So hopefully come back and go up there and try to run with those guys and hopefully get a win.
I know it was a big deal when I saw Joe Shear pull in the pits at a race, no matter where. Whether it be Florida Speed Weeks, whether it be Madison, whether it be Milwaukee, Joe was the guy to beat. How important is it for you to race a race in his honor and perhaps take home that $15,000 and that cool trophy they're going to hand out?
Yeah, I mean, Joe was always kind of a mentor of mine. He really helped me a lot. When I was first getting started, when I was a lot younger, obviously, and working at left-hander, and then I started driving for Nielsen after Joe stopped. So a lot of his cars were there, and I could see the craftsmanship. And he taught me a lot about, fabricating, setups. He always had the nicest cars, and Joe was always a man of few words. And he was a real funny guy. And there was a few times that he pulled me aside, gave me some great advice about things that I should do, I shouldn't do. And a couple times he told me I shouldn't do things like him in certain ways. So some of the funny things about him, is he loved to win. And even though he was so quiet, he I feel like he had a temper. And when he wasn't running well and his car would start going to the back, like I remember one race I was watching because we dropped out or something, and he was running first or second. He was running toward the front. And he started drifting back, and he got to like 7th or 8th. And I was like, he's going to pull in the pits here and quit any minute. About 5 laps later, he pulled in the pits behind the truck and stormed into the trailer and, changed and loaded it up. And So he was a great fabricator. Obviously, he was a great race car driver. Like I said, man, a few words, but when he talked, it was worth listening to.
I had the chance to, I think, a couple of times be at Slinger on the infield track PA that my friend Dean Strom now gets to use, and I always wanted to talk to Joe because he was always a big dog. He won the Slinger Nationals 4 times, half as many as you, by the way. But Joe, when he was at the racetrack, he was so serious and busy. I always wanted to talk to Joe because that's what fans wanted to hear from. Well, it took me, I think, 3 or 4 races to stand there and convince Joe, I'm not going to ask you a dumb question. I'm probably going to ask you 1 or 2 questions and let you get back to work. And he finally warmed up to me. So it's kind of like asking you a yes or no question, Matt. I kind of learned from Joe as well that you got to be right on your game, and it can't be long because I got work to do, right?
Yeah. I seem very talkative and personable if you're going to compare me to like trying to do an interview with Joe. So it's funny we started that off. You're like, I always want to do an interview with Joe, and the first thing that popped into my head, I was like, yeah, but I bet you never want to do one with you. So I feel like he always disliked that stuff. Very much. I feel like it was all about the driving to him, and I always felt like he really enjoyed building the cars and in that quiet time. It was funny that he'd kind of work at left-hander and he put together his own cars. He went in the back and would put bodies on and do all that and build cars and kind of work on the side sometimes. And when I was working there, basically full time, and I always remember it was so funny because he had kind of his own hours. I felt like he got up when he wanted to, and he'd get coffee and breakfast and do whatever. And he'd show up at sometime after lunch typically, and then he'd want to work till like midnight. He'd stay there all night. So it was funny. He kind of had his own schedule and his own pace and his own way of doing things.
And I also know he probably finished things up in his own 2-car garage attached to his house. I thought that's where he did a lot of his work, but now you're giving us some insights that he got a lot of work done at the office, and then he kicked everybody's butt on a regular basis. When it comes to racing...
Yeah, Go
ahead.
I've never been to that place, obviously. Nielsen's I was at, and saw what he did there and how nice those cars were. And he had very strong opinions about certain parts and pieces and the way he did things, which was always interesting. But he did a fair amount of work at left-hander there for a few years, at least when I was working there.
And I enjoyed Joe Shearer's passion for racing. I remember I'd see him in the stands at Angel Park Speedway on a Sunday night just hanging out. I talked to his friend Skip Goff. I talked Skip and Joe into actually putting the Coke syrup down one year at the indoor Mecca Arena when they're in an indoor midget race in Milwaukee. And I said, Joe, can you help us out here? He's like, what do you want me to do? I said, put the Coke syrup down. You've been to enough of these indoor races. You know where to put it. He's like, okay. So he and Skip did the whole racetrack for the whole weekend. It was awesome to kind of have Joe involved. Otherwise, he'd just be hanging out, just watching everything. I think that really helps helps me appreciate him even more. And I think this race will mean a lot to a lot of people this Sunday. And it means a lot to have you back as part of this. And Greg, should we throw the names that he's going to try to beat again on Sunday, May 1st now, or wait till the end when he hangs up on us?
Well,
yeah, I probably don't want to know.
You might have to worry about Casey Johnson, because if you think Ty put a whooping on you guys in 19, Casey put a whooping on him last August. I mean, something fierce. Yeah. And then followed it up at Fest.
I mean, that's one thing that's never changed about late model racing up there around Wisconsin is it's always been just really, really competitive. And it's hard for people. A lot of times people don't understand it, but it's really hard for people to come from the outside and go there and win and run good and beat the guys that do it, each and every week. It's really, really hard. And you saw it, I remember when I started up there, for people to come into like Slinger and beat Robbie Reiser or go, somewhere and beat Rich Bickle at Madison or whatever it is, like it was almost an impossible task. And it's really not a lot different right now. The last 2 times I raced up there really, it was Ty, but, he dominated Madison, he dominated Slinger, we ended up beating him in the last corner, just kind of got lucky on a late restart there to get caught back up to him. But, they kind of have this stuff going on, which isn't surprising. Toby's stuff, I feel like he's always been a winner no matter what he's been working on. So Joe and Jason, they got great cars there at Pathfinder. I know they've been working hard on always trying to get their stuff faster, and I'm sure the car will be faster than me, at least for a little while, until I can get back up to speed. It's been a couple years since I've been in a race car, so looking forward to hopefully getting some practice that Saturday, kind of getting up to speed and being ready for Sunday.
Matt, let's relate it to distance running. You got to prepare for that by doing shorter events and building up the amount of miles before the marathon. How are you building up your endurance for racing 200 laps around Madison International Speedway in a super late? It's been a couple years.
I think my endurance will be just fine. I'm not too worried about that. People talk about how hard driving race cars is, and it is hard. It's difficult to be good at it. I don't know that it's really that physical of a sport necessarily, although hydration, nutrition, sleep, all that stuff definitely matters. But as we've seen through the years, there's a lot of people that weren't really physical specimens that were awesome race car drivers. Trickle wasn't necessarily a pillar of health, and he did rather well every time he got behind the wheel. So I'm not too worried about that. I'm more worried about kind of getting up to speed in the car again, just haven't been in the car for a while, and getting to work with Joe and trying to hopefully give him some good feedback to get the car kind of to feel like what I think it should feel like. And honestly, it's been so long since I've done a lot of those races. I don't know exactly what it's supposed to feel like anymore. You know what you're kind of looking for and how you want it to act and get around the corner and feel, but getting there is a whole different thing these days with the rules and bump stops and everything else they have going on.
Now, Matt, I know that you haven't done a whole lot of dirt racing, but I know your last 2 SRX races are on dirt. So if you need to come warm up at Angel Park on a Sunday night, we'll welcome you and not even charge you a pit pass to get in.
Do we run stock cars there?
Yes, in August.
Hey,
It'd be too late
Todd
for
Cleaver
you.
actually bought him a midget. He raced last year. He finished top 10 in points, so you maybe can talk him into running his car just for some lap
All right,
laps.
cool.
Yeah.
Sounds fun. Yeah. The SRX thing, I just kind of, I don't know what I'm getting myself into there for sure. I think I've been to both those tracks. I've never really raced at them. I did a little thing for Schrader up at his track one time, an IMCA modified or whatever they're called now. And then I've been to Blaney's track one time. I think it was just for an appearance or something. So it should be fun. I mean, I don't really know what to expect. There's not a whole bunch of cars out there, and I've embarrassed myself before, so I'll go give it a try. Should be fun.
I'll just take out half the field like Paul Tracy. You'll be fine.
Yeah, they have spares. Hey, speaking of taking things out of your comfort zone, Matt, how was your TV experience being in the Fox booth at Vegas and Auto Club Speedway on TV and all fancied up with that fancy suit and tie and stuff? How was that?
Well, the funny thing about me and putting suits on is I don't know that I necessarily do this on purpose, but I always, when I put a suit on and go somewhere, I always check that, breast pocket, whatever you call it. And I typically always have whatever's in there from the last, event that I did. So I think it was 2 or 3 years old is the thing I pulled out of there from the last time. I think it was actually Joe Gibbs Hall of Fame event, actually. So I don't really dress up very often. I will say it was pretty far out of my comfort zone to actually commit to going to do that. But after I did, I had a really good time. Honestly, it was a really good experience. It was really good for me to go do something like that. It would have been real easy to say no and not put myself in that situation. So I'm glad I did it. It was something really, really different overall. It was a good experience. Gave me a different perspective. Kind of gave me an idea of what those guys, go through. It's funny when you race, you get done and be like, I can't believe they didn't cover that. They didn't know I had this going on. They didn't, I can't believe they didn't talk about that. And then you go up there and there's like a lot going on. And your information is very limited. It's limited to kind of, every once in a while they'll kind of hold up a chalkboard with a little thing, or you can kind of look at the scoring monitor, but you're pretty much calling what you see on TV. You're not really, you think you're at tracks, so you're watching everything out the window, and you're really, really not very often. And if you do, you kind of lose track of what's going on. So it's a little more difficult than it looks, but overall I enjoyed it.
Did Mike Joy give you a shoulder whack because you're looking outside the window instead of what's on TV? Because I got bruised up pretty good when I started doing announcing in the booth on TV. They're like, you can't watch the race, man. You got to watch what people see at home. I hear you.
No, he did. I had a really good time with Mike, honestly. I've known him for years and years and years. We only lived a mile or two apart for a lot of years, and we're neighbors. But just, would watch him on TV, and you'd say hi at the racetrack and do all that. But I never really spent much time with him. So we went to dinner the night before with him and some of the Fox crew, and I had a good time doing that. And just getting to know him a little bit. His personality is different than kind of what I thought it was. So he was not that I thought it was bad, but he was a lot of fun away from the track. Like he had some great stories, which I expected because he's been around for a long time, and I love hearing old stories about stuff I didn't know anything about. He had some real funny ones and some old ones about some people, and so I had a lot of fun kind of getting to know him. Obviously, I've known Clint for a lot of years, and I kind of know what to expect there. But overall, it was fun.
Sunday, May 1st, Matt Kenseth back in a race car, back racing in the Joe Shear Classic, the ARCA Midwest Tour 200-lapper, paying $15,000 to win. Will we get a chance to see Matt in the race car and something else at the racetrack, or you got to buy a pit pass and hang out and hope to get a chance to watch the 1994 Madison Track champ do his thing?
The VIP tickets are on sale right now.
VIP tickets are on sale, Matt. So anybody who bugs you for tickets,
do I need to buy one?
Yeah, that would help.
Oh, okay. Yeah, looking forward to seeing you there. I hope we get a lot of people out there. It's been, I love coming up there and racing against all local guys and seeing how that is. And I also love seeing all the fans up there. I've had a lot of fans up there for a long time, and I always enjoy coming back and kind of catching up and seeing what they're up to and that type of thing. So I know we had a lot of people last time we were at Madison. Got to catch up with a bunch of people, and haven't been spending much time in Wisconsin last 3 years, unfortunately. So a lot of people I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing and catching up with.
Matt, we got a couple of weeks between now and then. Give us a daily routine. Are you the soccer dad in the minivan with the little stickers on the back window with your kids' names in them with the various sports balls that they're playing? Or what is Matt Kenseth's days like when you're not training for marathons or chasing around the racetrack?
Yeah, this week's gonna be a little slow. I'm a little slow, and I won't be doing any training probably for the next couple days. I might try to get on my bike tomorrow, maybe. But so anyway, I spent a lot of time, obviously, training for that marathon, especially when you get into not the last 2 weeks, but before that. That month before that is pretty heavy. So that's at least a couple hours a day, every day, doing something, working toward that, and then really just I enjoyed driving the kids to all their stuff. Drive them all to school and back, and they're. Kaylin's playing club basketball, Grayson and Claire playing club soccer, and Mallory just started soccer and horseback, and there's just always something going on. It's just everything is. I don't remember it being like this when I was a kid. You're from a little town and you go to the school there and everything. You can almost walk to everything, and I feel like everything's a half-hour drive here at least. So I just feel like I spend a good part of my day, in the car, and then watching the kids do their practices in sports or whatever it is, which I thoroughly enjoy. I'm really thankful that I have that time to be able to spend with them now.
And you're impressive once again, 50 years young. I watched the split times. I looked up your bib on Boston Marathon's scoring. I'm looking for bib 94.95, and I see the half marathon time, 1 hour and 31 minutes. That one I got right. But the finish, really, in another hour and 30 minutes, the next 13 miles, man, that was a clip. That was crazy good. Congratulations on that alone.
So I've done a good job my first 3 marathons that I've ran doing it totally wrong. And Chicago last year was awful. It wasn't good weather. I didn't feel very good. And I just went way too hard in the start. I just had a certain time in mind. I wanted to try to hit 3 hours, and it wasn't in the cards. And I barely finished. It was really, really ugly the last half. So I just, listen to people that gave me advice about this course. Boston's very unique. It's a bunch of rollers, but it's more downhill than uphill the first half. And it's real easy just to blow your quads out and going too fast downhill and not be in the right form. So I really tried to pace myself. And the first 3 or 4 miles, honestly, there's so many people there. It's a 2-lane road. They're lined up from the fence to the fence, and as far as you can see in front of you. And it's and the people that are in your corral, had their qualifying time that was similar to yours. So they're going to run similar, to you. But the first 3 miles I lost 30 or 40 seconds there just from kind of being behind people. And after that, I really just tried to pace myself until I got toward the end. You get some of the big hills at the end. The second half is much more challenging than the first half of the course. A lot of ups and downs and some kind of punchier hills. So once I got over top of Heartbreak Hill, I actually felt really good, and that was on mile 21. So then I just kind of went from there, kind of gave it everything I had left, and was able to finish strong. So it was fun to finish strong for once.
That's really cool that you did that. I'm sure that's something you're going to probably continue doing just as part of what you want to do to stay healthy and active and chasing those kids around. And I got to know, it might be a really packed house for those VIP tickets, Greg. How do we get a hold of them to be in the Matt Kenseth VIP on Sunday, May 1 at Madison?
Just misracing.com and click on the left side. It says tickets, and it'll take you right there. Download it on your phone, and you walk right in. Gets you a pit pass for the day. Angie's got food and soft drinks and water ready to go, so should be make for a fun Sunday afternoon on May 1st.
We're kicking,
and you get to hang out with Matt. I mean,
yeah, we're kicking into high gear. We're finally getting a race.
It all sounded good until that.
Yeah. I'll send you an email on my Lycos account. We'll be good.
And Matt, what we can do is send this to Adrian, and he can send it out to the fans that buy the VIP, and then you don't have to ask all about your racing and your jogging and your incredible 7-minute miles you pumped out for 26 miles on Monday. It's great to have you on the show. Great to see you back here in Wisconsin, albeit through this video channel. Race fans, how about it for Matt Kenseth coming home to race Sunday, May 1st at his home track. Thanks, Matt, for your time. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I'll see y'all in a couple weeks. I'm looking forward to it.
Sounds great. That's a big catch right there to get him on this show. Adrian was actually his guy. I got to tell you, Matt, cut off. Adrian was on vacation last week, but he still made this happen. So thanks to you and me bugging him to get it going. And
we must have some clout.
Well, it's good to know
Must-
Matt said
must be
yes,
it.
because Matt can say no pretty quick.
Must be you.
Nope, all you. For Sunday, May 1st, where do we go to buy tickets if we do want to do VIP? I want to make sure that's out there again.
So misracing.com, you can do so general admission tickets. You can save in advance by buying those on the website. They're $25 in advance. Otherwise, $30 day of the show. Also, the VIP. Just click on the tickets, and it's got a whole. You just click on Matt Kenseth VIP experience. It walks you through. It goes right to your phone. You sign for your pit pass right there, and you just get scanned and get your card, and away you go.
And as we end where we began, talking about Slinger this Sunday, the Miller Lite 75th Annual Opener with Keen Parts is a sponsor for the ARCA Midwest Tour and the Super Late Point Show for Slinger. There is also a $5 reduction if you buy them in advance.
Yep, SlingerSuperspeedway.com. Tickets are on there. Also, so just get those tickets in advance, be ready to go, and that way you can just avoid the lines on race day and go and grab your seat and get ready. That show at Slinger is going to be phenomenal. I mean, I'm a promoter, right? But just going through that as a race fan, seeing the names that we have coming, 12 guys that got super late model championships, a bunch of championships in weekly racing, and trucks and mid-am are also sprinkled in there. Just a really good quality field, and we're proud to bring that to the High Banks on this Sunday.
It's a great field. Thank you to your wife, Angie, for being here and all you guys do as a family. Team McCarns is running strong, and thanks to you, we get cool events like this, and $15,000 to win, and $1,500 to start, and $1,000 to win on weekly shows at Madison on Fridays. It really makes us even more spoiled in Wisconsin, thanks to Team McCarns. How about I say for Greg McCarns, his wife Angie, and all they do? Thank you for being on the show once again.
You bet. We'll see you on MidwestTour.tv.
Yes, we will. Sunday. If you can't make it, if you're watching this show between now and April 24th or May 1st, and you can't physically get to Wisconsin to race, MidwestTour.tv is where you can watch the live streams, and I think we got tickets to give away on an upcoming show to go to Angel Park Speedway. It's a great dirt track in Angel Park's Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, right in the middle of town. It's a great historic racetrack that the McCarns family does a great job promoting, and we'll talk more about that as the weeks progress on the Racing Roundup Show, your home for all things on the Wisconsin racing scene. Thank you, Greg. When we come back, we're talking dirt racing with Brendan Ostrowski, a dirt modified racer in the area. Come on back and join us on the Racing Roundup Show.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Contact us on our website, racingroundupshow.com. We'll be right back with more of the Upper Midwest and Wisconsin racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports. Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair, from oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive.
Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln is a great place to watch NASCAR races, Packer games, Brewer games, and to meet up with your friends. Joey and Jim Lynch pride themselves on their friendly hospitality and welcome Racing Roundup listeners to stop in to watch all the races on their 14 TVs and flat screens. Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln has been a longtime supporter of racers, including National Road Racing Motorcycle Champion Dan Delansky. Relax around the big neighborhood bar with 2 pool tables and dartboards surrounded by TVs. Whether you're meeting up before the game, want to watch the races with race fans, or just want to grab a cold one, head to Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 Lincoln and West Allis.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Elkhart Lakes Road America this 4th of July weekend. The NASCAR Quick Trip 250, presented by Jockey Made in America, and the NASCAR Xfinity Series Henry 180 guarantees high-speed thrill and endless family fun. Enjoy the family fun zone, camping on site, and free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult. Don't wait. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Road America, your national park of speed.
Greenfield Gallery wants to buy your racing collection. Do you have die-cast cars from IndyCar, Sprint Car, or short tracks? Greenfield Gallery wants them. If you have old racing programs, racing photos, and negatives, Greenfield Gallery wants those too. Contact Ralph Hibbert Jr. at Greenfield Gallery, who wants to buy your racing collection. Ralph also has an ever-changing eBay store full of racing collectibles. Search Greenfield Gallery. Email Ralph right now to get connected. His email address is ralph@greenfieldgallery.net.
We're back on the Racing Roundup Show. If you liked what you watch and see, tell your friends, like us on Facebook, share our website address, racingroundupshow.com. Looking forward to seeing you here on a Tuesday night. All through April, we're here every Tuesday, live at Paulies Pub and Eatery, 81st in Greenfield, just outside turn 1 of the Milwaukee Mile. If you know where State Fair Park is, you'll find Paulies, and you'll find a lot of fun. Great food, great entertainment, and brewer shuttles to every home game for the Milwaukee Brewers, as well as big concerts like I think it was last week or the week before. Bon Jovi played on a Tuesday. Yep, they had shuttle buses for that too going downtown Milwaukee. So lots going on. Paulies Pub and Eatery. Find them on social. Hey, the Midwest Truck Series races next on Sunday, May 1st, as part of the Joe Shear Classic at Madison International Speedway. A great series. They're supported by Pathfinder Chassis and Wegner Automotive. For details on this growing regional racing series, they had 30 trucks rolling into the Dells or rolling into Madison with about that many or more. Go to their website, MidwestTruckSeries.com. It's now time for the Anderson's Maple Syrup Racing Short Track Spotlight. I'd like to remind you, Anderson's is a great Wisconsin business, proud business since 1928, making quality syrup. You can find them online at andersonsmaplesyrup.com. This spotlight belongs to a young driver we'll talk to next, but one more quick mention about Anderson's. It's available in your local grocery store. They proudly sponsor short track racers in Wisconsin, Dennis Prunty, Bill Balog, and Jason Gross. Bill's actually racing all over the country now. Try Anderson's Maple Syrup in your coffee or tea or on ice cream. Take it with you with Pure Fuel, Maple Energy on the go. Buy Anderson's Maple Syrup again at your favorite grocer. Go to andersonsmaplesyrup.com, and we'll have some fun with you because that's an awesome syrup, an awesome Wisconsin company, and great supporter of our show as well. And the spotlight shines right on this next guest. Let's welcome back to the show after a few years away. Driver the number 27 Dirt Modified, Brendan Ostrowski. Brendan, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's been a while, but
you were a kart racer at Badger Kart Club. How many years did you do that?
Oh, I believe my first year was 2013. I think that was my first full season. So I think it was like 8 years, I think,
and
by the time I retired.
How many championships?
7 off the top of my head.
And you ran multiple classes on a given year, I'm guessing.
Yep, we went up through the ranks from sportsman all the way up to senior. A few years I ran both Briggs Animal and LO206. So it was a busy schedule for quite a while, but...
In that last moments of karting, did you transfer over as a kart racer and a dirt racer?
So my last year at karting, we practiced the dirt car a few times at Gravity Park, and then after that we jumped right into the dirt car for the first season. So it wasn't completely foreign, but definitely that first race in the dirt car was a bit nerve-wracking because before that it was just me alone on a track. So.
And as far as karting goes, I know your sister had raced karts, your dad Leroy, and your grandfather Norby. I mean, the Ostrowski name is synonymous with Wisconsin short track racing, but did you have anything maybe more familiar because your sister went karting as opposed to you going dirt racing when I don't think she did. So it's kind of a new thing for you, right?
Yeah, so I don't want to say she didn't express interest in the dirt car, but life kind of got in the way. Okay. But it definitely helped her karting before I jumped into karting because we knew quite a bit.
Had some stuff. You knew the schedules. You knew where to be.
Yeah. She was kind of the guinea pig for a lot of years, and I mean I don't like saying that, but I mean it's true. But
yeah.
So
and you had to go dirt racing every Saturday. So racing on Sunday was a big commitment.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was a bit too young at that time to really remember all the sprint car racing we did at the time, but it was definitely a lot of fun from what I can remember. But
so how long have you wanted to race a dirt modified or on dirt, and then that chance came?
Well, I wanted to race a sprint car first for a lot of years because that's really all I remembered while growing up. But it just so happened that my dad jumped into a IMCA Sport Mod for a year, won the championship at Beaver Dam in 2012, and then the car sat basically as a workbench since, 2013, and then we finally dug it out of the garage and got it running in 2019, and then went racing in 2020.
And how did those first weeks go, the first time in the car, not just practice days, but rolling in there going for points or wins?
Well, I want to say that the first year was a lot smoother than the second year. The first race, unfortunately, got shortened due to rain at Gravity Park, but the heat race went pretty well, and then the next couple nights kind of all just flowed in, so I feel like the first few weeks of racing the big car, I think it actually went pretty well, better than I expected. But
speaking of Brendan Ostrowski, he's got a lot on his plate this year. Tell us about the equipment you have going forward for this season. Is it the same car that was the workbench from 2013?
So the workbench in 2013 was a 2000 base speed car, and since then we sold it off to a good friend, and now it's just kind of sitting off in the weeds again. Last year we ran a 2013 PF Flyer Sport Mod, and then that kind of went how it did, and then this winter we got the car rebuilt by Jeff over at Ultimate Race Cars, and I'm pretty excited to be in it. So we'll see how this year goes now that a few things got updated, and hopefully it'll be a better year.
Found you at Brendan Ostrowski on Facebook, but that doesn't tell me a lot about your schedule. Tell us about your schedule here on the show. Where you plan on running first and for the season?
Well, we're shooting for our opener to be April 30th at Beaver Dam if the weather cooperates, because you never know what it's going to do these days. Besides that, we're really probably just going to primarily run Beaver Dam this season. Plymouth maybe a few times. I know I want to get up to Tomahawk on July 4th weekend because they do a big July 4th special. I've seen or heard about a few races at the hill up in Sturgeon Bay. Last year it kind of caught my attention, so I might go up there once this year. And then definitely the Dirt Kings event at Angel Park. I think that one's in August I want to run. I had a lot of fun there last year. So.
And that's a chance to try different racetracks. Where have you primarily been racing, and where do you want to dial that car in for those other races when you travel? Where are you be racing most often?
Primarily, you'll find us at Beaver Dam.
Okay.
We do travel. Well, we did last year travel a little bit. The first year we traveled quite a bit. But Beaver Dam, these past 3 years, I've called my home track, and that's where we'll be running primarily this year. So
I saw you racing last year at the end of June. We had a special broadcast. I mentioned earlier on the show that Tuesday night point show is going to happen again on June 28th. That's instead of the July 4th weekend point race, which means you can probably do a point race somewhere else and still race that Tuesday. How many times do you think you're running at Wilmot Raceway?
I might hit up Wilmot a few times this year. I know that Tuesday show, when I did run it, was pretty fun. I believe that night I ran, they had fireworks. I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
Last year, we unfortunately missed that show, but it was definitely a show that I want to run again this year. So I'm looking forward to it.
Brendan, I just got something on my alert here. Donnie Gaden likes the fact that we tweeted out that our next guest on the show is Brendan Ostrowski. It's got to be cool knowing not only just racing names, but racers that you've been around your whole life. It's kind of cool knowing that you get to bounce ideas or see them in the pits, or so on occasion, I'm sure they're wanting to help you, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a legacy that my grandpa Norb and my uncle Pete and my dad Leroy all built up over the years. And while I definitely say that I personally don't know a lot of people know me just because of my last name. So I'll have random people walk up to me every night, and I mean, I like talking to people. It's always a door for new opportunities. So.
And who do you go to the track with? How many family people might show up on a given night named Ostrowski?
Oh boy, there's quite a few people that support me every night.
Or immediate family, I should say, because you've got a lot of family.
Yeah, so definitely my dad Leroy. He definitely puts out the most for the car. My mom Wendy, my crew chief John Banky, who also worked on a few ASA cars. And
I know John from back in the day,
and,
absolutely. He's been in your camp for a long time. Back to karting.
Yep, since we started in karting, he's been there since day one. So. And then my crew guys, the Gilpatricks, Riley, Corey, Rick, all them. My wonderful girlfriend, Erin.
Is she here tonight?
Yeah, she's back there.
Just checking. Ty Davis is he's eating some pizza. I don't know if that's yours, but it's gone now. So. Chris Johnson is also taking care of whatever you left on the garlic bread plate I saw you earlier with.
I got to keep my physique. The seat's a little bit loose this year. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're looking good.
Well, thank you.
You making a concerted effort to not go back through the buffet line twice?
Yeah, it's definitely a struggle sometimes, especially here at Paulies. The food's good.
So we didn't want to put the pressure on you, but Matt Kenseth just ran a marathon yesterday and has no issues with what he's doing. But I also know there's a guy named Tony Stewart, does okay on the racetrack. He said no matter what size he was in racer's shape. So you got that going for you. You can borrow that if you need to.
As long as you fit in the seat, that's all that matters.
As long as the seat fits you and you win, you cash the check. Hey, that's going to happen.
Yep.
Who helps you with your race car now? You mentioned the crew folks. Are there anybody else that you have as a sponsor, or is there anybody else that's really been a big help with you over the years?
Definitely Brad Mueller at BMRE Electric Kart Sales. He's been with us for quite a few years. And then
he has a name for everybody. What's yours? What does he call you?
My name is Lo.
Lo.
It stands for Little O, apparently.
Oh, okay.
That kind of just cropped up over the last few months.
That's
but
important because Brad has a name for everybody. It's like how he does the Rolodex in his head.
Yep. And then,
All
of course, Jeff had Ultimate Race Cars. He went through the car and got all the geometry correct. Then there's Dan over at Easy Dealers, PNP Products, who did our shirts last year. And then there's Bailing Racing Equipment, Jersey Sports Bar and Grill. Then there's, let me look at my list here.
Sure.
There's PJ's Trucking, Games R Us, Unita Iron and Sandblasting, Vintage Modified Stock Car, Rails and Depot, and of course Jim Glossmeyer. There's quite a few new sponsors this year, so I guess I didn't have all of them memorized, but I tried.
Yeah, you did a great job. And you're going racing a lot this year, so it's going to take a lot of effort. So where can people find you other than at the racetrack, or I'm sure you're going to be approachable at the racetrack as well. Where can they find you on socials?
All my social medias are at Ostrowski Racing. Nice, short, and sweet. If you can't find us there, if you use the search bar and type in hashtag TeamOSR, we should pop up there. We use that tag on all of our social media posts, so that you should be able to find us there. So.
Team OSR. What does OSR stand for?
Well, because we're just Ostrowski Racing, I couldn't just say Team OR. It sounded too short.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I used the first letter and the second letter of my last name, and then R for racing.
There you go. Now we know. See, now we know. You don't
all
have to
the
ask
inside
them.
questions.
I know, and I put you on the spot with about most of them. So thanks for playing along.
Of course.
When you go to the racetrack, is it going to be 2 nights a weekend? Is it going to be 3 nights in some times in your schedule? How aggressive are you going to get with this modified you're running?
Oh boy. Well, this year for Redemption Tour 2022, I was thinking earlier about just running part-time, but honestly, if the car is a little bit better than last year, we might throw in a few more nights. I know we ran a few Friday nights the first year, and those were fun. So you might see us run a few double headers. You might not see us at all. I guess just stay tuned to the social media platforms that we have out there, and I guess you'll find out.
Hashtag Team OSR. Great young man. Looking forward to seeing him at the racetrack. Cheer him on. How about I say it for Brendan Ostrowski for joining us tonight. Thank you, Brendan.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for seeing Mom here as well. It's great to see your family and friends supporting you, and it's going to be fun to watch you race. Thanks for taking the time tonight.
Of course.
Absolutely. We're rolling on here. When we come back, we'll tell you about next week's show. A lot going on in the world of motorsports. You can find it on our RacingRoundupShow.com website, our Twitter and Instagram handles at Racing Roundup. We want to make sure you're having fun with us. Make sure what you think about the show and like us on Facebook. We'll be right back to wrap things up on this edition of the Racing Roundup Show.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show. ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help you with your spring cleaning. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Allis, Waukesha, and Milwaukee, right next to Miller Park. ARR Recycling since 1938.
This Saturday night at Rockford Speedway, it's the 45th Annual Spring Classic presented by Kunis Auto Group. Under the lights for the first time ever. Don't miss the Big 8 Late Model Series opening their season on the Rockford High Banks. See reigning Big 8 Series champion John Reynolds Jr., Midwest Late Model ace Casey Johnson, two-time Spring Classic winner Dale Nottestad, former Big 8 Series champion Max Kaler, and National Short Track champion Austin Nason. Champions and challengers from 4 states will be there. You should be there too. Plus, the Mid-Am Racing Series takes to the track and the 25-lap Bandit Blast. Gates open at 3 p.m. First race at 5 p.m. Adult admission just $20. Kids 5 and under free. speed. For more information, visit RockfordSpeedway.com or call 815-633-1500. The 45th Annual Spring Classic, presented by Kunis Auto Group, under the lights for the first time ever, this Saturday night at Rockford Speedway.
Eliminate the hassles of planning a trip to the races. Hook up with Boring Bob's escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob offers transportation, lodging, race tickets, nightlife, shuttle service, and more. Boring Bob knows all the back roads into and out of the racetrack to get you in and out fast. Pick one or pick them all. Go in style to Daytona, Bristol, Phoenix, Las Vegas, and more. He has decades of experience and industry contacts galore. You name the race, let Boring Bob do the rest. Call Boring Bob today to make plans now to go on one of Boring Bob's famous escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob's always at 414-321-1307. That's 414-321-1307.
Paulies Pub and Eatery at 81st Street and Greenfield Avenue serves up Milwaukee's best pizza, outstanding wings, and a great pub menu. Paulies Kitchen is open late every night with great nightly specials. Paulies has a shuttle bus to all Brewers games. Party on the patio this summer with Paulie. Paulies has 18 flat-screen TVs to catch all of your favorite sports. Stay up to speed and download Paulies mobile app and receive a free 22-ounce tap beer. PauliesPubandEatery.com. Have you partied with Paulie?
Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show. Thanks to Derek Crane for bringing his race car tonight. He's got some great sponsors that provided prizes for us after the show. Painters Plus, a free painting of a 10x10 room. He also gave us a gift card thanks to Pit Road Apparel, who makes all of his cool racing gear. He brought some of that along to give away as well. So you can win $50 or 10% off your next order at Pit Road Apparel. We've got that to give away tonight, as well as some Gearhead Coffee tumblers, and we've got some great things from Interstate Batteries in celebration of Kyle Busch's victory on Sunday night at Bristol, including a battery charger pack that you can get at Interstate, but you can win it tonight. Thanks to Greg and the gang there. We've got some more great prizes. Brendan Ostrowski brought a shirt to give away. Great hats and T-shirts and Anderson syrup. That's all in the offering. We do giveaways every time we're out in front of an audience at a bar or restaurant, so come out and join the racing crowd. Next week on the show, we got another great show planned for you. We've got Badger Kart Club racer Nick Sobiach. We've got 2021 Wisconsin Wingless champ Ryan Marshall. IRA Sprints president Steve Sinclair. Owner of Keene Parts and CorvetteParts.net, Tom Keene, who's an avid short track racing supporter. He's actually sponsoring the first two ARCA Midwest Tour races this year, including this Sunday at Slinger and the Joe Shear Classic at Madison in consecutive Sundays. We're also going to talk to sport mod racer Jason Schilling, and we'll share details on how you can contribute to a new fund, memorial fund set up for a trade school student to win a scholarship, basically, for tools or for schooling at Waukesha Area Technical College, Waukesha WCTC, in honor and memory of our friend Mike Weir. Mike passed away at the end of December, so he and his friends and family are getting together. We'll find out more about how you can contribute to a fund set up to help someone in Mike's honor, because he's so good with wrenches and bodywork that if they get taught that, why not put something together and honor Mike with a scholarship? So we'll tell you more about that next Tuesday night, about that trade show, school student scholarship, and we've got a lot for you between now and then. We hope to see you at the racetrack soon. We want to thank our guests for tonight. We can't thank our great show crew, Dave Schmalzer, Matt Rapina, Greg Lapine, Sam Trado, Dean Strom, Sherry Prague. Thank you, Bruce Blodgett and Mark Goodman, for all you guys do to help us out. If you'd like to be on our show, if you want to be on our show, by all means, like our show on Facebook, number one. Number two, go to our website, racingroundupshow.com. Interact with us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. And if you want to contact us, it's easy. racingroundupshow.com is our new design website. You can watch all of our shows as well. We're looking forward to seeing you at one of our programs upcoming, and you know why? Because we want to be where the racers are. We want to hang out with you guys. We want to tell your stories. Put a spotlight on short track racers and guys like Matt Kenseth. Wow, was that fun tonight to have Matt Kenseth on this edition of the Racing Roundup Show. Thanks to Greg McCarnes for making that happen. Big races coming up. We hope you learned a bunch and you're ready to spend some money at the short tracks in Wisconsin. We're going racing this weekend at Slinger Super Speedway. Also, thanks to Saturday night's host of us. He's going to be working really hard at Rockford Speedway. Eric Enefeld joining us about the big Spring Classic, the first time on a Saturday afternoon evening at RockfordSpeedway.com. Find out more details there. We also want to thank Derek Crane for all he brought to the deal. Thank you, Derek. Derek DC Crane is where you can find him on Facebook. And hashtag Team OSR, Brendan Ostrowski and Ostrowski Racing. They got a lot going on. Support them. They support all their sponsors as well. It's great to having that exposure. It's part of what we do each and every time we host the Racing Roundup Show. Until next Tuesday, as I like to remind everybody, set your DVR, support your local racing, and have at it, racers. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for joining us for the Racing Roundup Show. Like our show on Facebook, contact us via our website, racingroundupshow.com, and interact with us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We are delivering fresh content every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central. Until next time, race fans, support your local racetrack, set your DVR, and have at it, racers.